Well, we are into the final games of the regular NHL season, and the playoffs are starting to take shape, of course. The hometown Habs are trying to squeak in. Eddie's been working on this story all week. Eddie?
Hang on a second, please. Oh, yes. Okay, I feel better now. Okay, okay. Let's get at it. So, Gary, last week you asked me the same question: How are the Habs doing? And I said, you know what? We're almost at the promised land of a wild card spot in the playoffs. All they have to do is not lose the last four games, and they're in. Well, guess what? They're making it very difficult. They're at a point right now where they must win today's game or at least tie it and go into shootouts or overtime. They just need a point, okay? A desperate point. Barring not getting that 1 point or that 2 point win, they're dependent on what happens with Columbus, who's playing tomorrow night against the New York Islanders. If Columbus wins, they advance. So Canadiens' destiny is in their hands tonight, either tie or win the game, and we're into the next round. So it's been an exciting year, like I said. We're year 3 out of a 5-year rebuild plan. They had said at the beginning of the year they were hopeful of being in the mix, and Gary, they are essentially in the mix. Very nice job by the management, the coaching staff, and good contributions by the young individuals of this team. And the real good part about this as well is 4 out of the 6 Canadian teams made it into the playoffs this year. Vancouver did not, unfortunately. Calgary also did not. They got eliminated yesterday from contention because the 2 teams ahead of them, being St. Louis and I think Minnesota, won their games. Had they not won their games, Calgary winning their next game would have launched them into the playoffs as well. So good try for them. So right now we've got the Maple Leafs, the Ottawa Senators, and the league-leading Winnipeg Jets that are advancing, along with the Edmonton Oilers. So Canadiens win tonight. It's going to be 5 teams in the playoffs, which is a pretty good start. And a series I was hoping for between Montreal and Toronto, of course, is not going to happen, even if they win today. But the battle for Ontario begins, and that's going to be Toronto against the Ottawa Senators. And you know what? You had asked, are there any black horses in the playoffs right now? I put my money on the Ottawa Senators.
Really?
Yes, I would. They are playing some solid hockey. I think they're 7-3-1, 7-3-0 in their last 10 games, which is a significant run. So yeah, you just never know. I think they're going to be the black horse and eliminate a few teams. I think this is going to go to Game 7 with Toronto. Toronto is also playing very well, so it's going to be a great series to watch. If the Habs win today, they're going to be playing against the division-leading Washington Capitals, headed by Mr. Alex Ovechkin, Captain Ovechkin. So that's on our side here. And the Winnipeg Jets, the league-leading Winnipeg Jets, are going to be playing St. Louis. And our Edmonton Oilers are going to be playing the Los Angeles Kings. And I think the way these playoffs and divisions are set up, the Oilers are facing the Los Angeles Kings for the 4th time in the last 5 years. So that's a rivalry to begin with there, and we'll see how that goes. Some of the teams are struggling with injuries. Washington, for example, so they, you never know, they might get eliminated 1 or 2 rounds down the line. And also the Edmonton Oilers are hurting. McDavid was out for a while. Leon Draisaitl was out for a while. So I think they're playing pretty banged up. And, quite honestly, Gary, after 82 games and, maybe 4 or 5 exhibition games plus the nation's tournament this year, most players go into the hockey playoffs banged up. So this is when the new season begins. The big boys come out and play. The Toronto Maple Leafs still haven't been able to establish themselves as a team that can play with the big boys because they usually fold in the first round. And it's going to come down to 4 people in Toronto, and I really wish they advance. It's going to come down to Marner, Matthews, Tavares, and Nylander. Usually those guys are packing their golf bags and getting ready even before the first game starts. So let's hope they come out and play some hockey, and I think it's going to be a good, solid playoff. Some surprises. You had asked me who who I was betting on to winning the Stanley Cup or being in the Final Four. I did say the New York Rangers, but they didn't even make the playoffs. I did say the Dallas Stars was a team that had to be reckoned with, and I think the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see how it goes. So let's start with the Montreal Canadiens. If they win today, ask me next week who I think is going to win the Stanley Cup. Okay.
Sure. All right. And I will be all over that like white on rice.
Okay.
You're not going to escape the wrath.
I
You
know.
know, you mentioned about the golf clubs, and it was funny. I was just sitting here thinking, Toronto, they've had a stretch of wintry style weather like we've had over the last few days. So yeah, okay. But the minute that starts to warm up in downtown Toronto, those guys will have their golf clubs and in the cars,
Uh-huh.
and they'll be ready to head out. See ya. Nice doing business. We're in a rebuilding year.
Yeah. But
Goodbye.
didn't you say they've been rebuilding since 1967?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the beat
Maybe
goes
this is the
on.
year.
Yeah. What's the latest score in the game up the street?
It's the wifey just told me it's still 1-1, second period.
Wow. Okay.
Well, 1-1 is good. If they can carry that beyond the third period, they're done. And she just texted
Yeah.
me saying they're
Yes.
still 1-1.
Yeah.
So
I just saw it
uh,
pop up here.
can't play with fire. Got to get that win.
Yeah.